Hey, it's Shabes! Welcome back to Piss Pirates. I think they might be doing 4 chapters in a single episode tonight. Yikes! Let's see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be all right. I've been very much enjoying pretty much the entire thing. I don't think they've really missed a whole lot. Although they finally cut a panel that I am genuinely bummed that they cut. And I still understand the reason, like the context behind it. And it really doesn't, it's not like super vital and necessary, but it's still like, man, that's such a missed opportunity, I think. But let's go into that. Panels. These are the 3 chapters that they adapted last episode. As you can see, not a ton. I mean, yeah, a ton in this in this chapter, all things considered, but in comparison to some of the other things that they like, the amount that they cut in episode 14 and episode 13 and episode 15, I think that they've done this is not as much comparatively. But let's so the particular panel I was referring to is this one right here. They cut 2 entire pages from this like kind of pseudo flashback. Basically it cuts back to like, you know, them finishing their conversation about like doing the plan and everything. They do have this scene in the episode, but basically they have like the first couple instances where he's like, what kind of relationship do we have? He's like, we're friends. He's like, exactly. Fishmen and humans have not been able to have that for a long time. I just don't want you to go out there without a plan. I want you to become their hero. And Luffy responds to that being like, hero? No way. What? We're pirates. I love heroes, but I don't want to be one. Do you even know what a hero is? Let's say there's a bunch of meat. Pirates have feasts and eat meat, but heroes give meat to the other people. I want to eat the meat. What kind of analogy is that? like it's silly. But that is so important to his character. Like, he couldn't say it in more starker terms, and that is so vital to understanding specifically his relationship to Joy Boy and Nika and being in that lineage. Because he is not interested in being anyone's savior, and he has been already in the, you know, he's for members of his crew, for his friends, for entire kingdoms. That's been the case, but he, whatever reason, doesn't like being seen that way. Yeah, just like he's like, I love heroes, but I don't want to be one. Just very interesting. And I honestly think is probably a similar perspective that Roger had, and maybe even that Joy Boy had. Even just the idea with like Nika either being a god of destruction or a savior, a warrior of liberation. People have different interpretations of that, and the way Luffy in this arc says, you decide for yourself of who we are. If we're your enemy or if we're your friend, you decide that. Is just such a powerful statement. And he's very like clearly making this delineation of like, I can be the main character of this story and do all these good things and be a hero without taking that credit and, you know, taking the responsibility of being the hero. He is doing what he wants to do, you know, because it's his friend's country, because he's friends with Shirahoshi, etc. That's why he does what he does. This is such an important line to me, and they cut it. And the reason I think they cut it is because it's effectively a joke, right? And it doesn't directly evolve, like, you know, bring the story forward or anything. I know it's also a joke because it's like, well, what kind of analogy is that? It's kind of like an underhand part. And then he's like, I'll feed you all the meat if you do as I say. Deal. Problem solved, right? Like the way it resolves so quickly, because that's how easy he is to that's how easy it is to convince Luffy to do something like that. It's a joke, right? but it's still an insight into his character. And so I understand why they cut it. I'm just very, very disappointed that they did. I don't think that makes the remaster trash. I just think it's like you, and this is what I would hopefully with my message with the video, if I make one, is that like, you just have to understand what you're getting into. That like, this is a condensing of the arc. There is a lot of cut content. The vast majority of it, I don't think you will miss at all. And it is there in animated form if you want to seek it out. But if you want the arc and you want it in like kind of a streamlined fashion, go for it. I think Remaster's great. It also looks incredible for all the reasons, whatever. But yeah, like this is what I'm talking with, like a lot of repeated information. Like Oda like lays out this whole plan that we already saw happen, basically, more or less, or like what his intention was. But you know, it's kind of reiterating this sequence of Hody slowly getting up was cut. It just shows him lying on his back and then cuts away to things happening, and I think that flowed a lot better because, you know, after they have a bit of dialogue, Hody kind of explodes back out and he's like, Vander Decken was blah blah blah. I think that just flows a lot better. But this was probably, I think, for like page space. This was kind of funny but also a little sad. I just made this to clarify that every one of the Straw Hats here gets a line or reaction to this happening. I believe this is the thing of, like, you know, all of them getting out into action once Luffy does the Conqueror's Haki, and Chopper's the only one that doesn't get a line. He doesn't get the It's Showtime. They don't cut like all of his appearances, obviously, but that I don't know. Maybe there was something about the original anime didn't have that. I didn't look too closely to see. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Little bits of dialogue from the crowd here that they'll cut a lot of. Yeah, this is a lot of reiterating what we've just seen happen and everything. Yeah, this part with them coming into the thing, and I forget. Oh, this is like, yeah, when the army is starting to approach before Luffy does the Conquerors. I think the flow of that was great. They didn't need to have all of this. This entire 2-page spread is he basically just go right to this line here, and it just shows that he's ignored. I want to say that they redrew something entirely to make it look like this spread here, because I believe in the original they just kind of zoom in on everybody and make it a big to-do, but they really make it quick here. But yeah, like we're with this human pirates, like kind of redundant. And yeah, they do have the joke with Brook wanting to see Shirahoshi's with getting hit and everything, but like he doesn't need to clarify it's the princess or whatever. Yeah, and then Sanji's like, I saved those idiots. Do you love me now? Yeah. Like this little extra bit, fine to get cut, whatever. And then yeah, Sanji in response says, "Because I saved you guys." It's because like that's redundant, right? What's with the whale? I don't know who asked or why they asked, to be honest with you. It doesn't go anywhere. And then obviously, but what does go somewhere is the 2 new weapons waiting, who wants to ride them, because that's, you know, foreshadowing what's going to happen with Frankie and all that. Reaction shot. I think I could be mistaken here. Yeah, like the guy just goes there ignoring you, but he doesn't say I whispered it on purpose because it's obviously a lie. It's not very funny. Her capture was unexpected. She'll have to escape on her own. Yeah, obviously. This is the hope of the fisherman. Like, they're just clarifying what the document is, what the celestial letter is, and if you've been paying attention, you already know. You don't need that bit. Yeah. But yeah, 2 whole pages from that, in addition to what I covered over here. All this interaction here. Let's read. I believe. Okay, it's this page and then this page, left and then right. Can you all do that? I'll take care of it. Robin will do that. Yeah, like that happens. Once we freed the king, I'll ask you for your help. Like, he's just sort of explaining the plan more, but we already saw it happen. Or we didn't see it happen because it was a change of plans. So, like, none of this explanation really is necessary. It was more like, in case the reader was wondering what they were trying to do, right? We'll stand by in a safe place, and once we've obtained the document, we'll escape with the king and her brothers. The rest of you go to Ryugu Castle, save your friends. Once you have them, return to the plaza. As for how to save your friends, good luck with that. There's a big hole in your plan, which is funny. And the anime makes a whole to-do about, like, going through Zoro cutting the cage and Starfish guy bringing them out of it and everything like that. What do you think the citizens watching will think if they see this? Like, why do we need to know that? Everyone from Fishman and Fishman districts respects you. Yeah, if the big boss, yeah, they cut a bunch of Kami's lines, of course, because Kami doesn't talk in this arc, basically. After like her bit, like bringing the crew, like saving the crew and bringing them to the other mermaids, and then like getting the that initial part. I think the moment they get in contact with King Neptune, she's just not a factor in the story at all, which is true. In the manga, you look at what she does afterwards. That she doesn't. She just stands by. But you know, that's a shame because I really love Kami, especially in pre-time skip. I'm only doing this because you asked me, Jinbei. I hate being cheered on by anybody. Yeah, again, more characterization for him. I really love. Yeah, because it so rarely happens. I'd defeat even the king of the demons if mermaids would cheer me on, right? Like, obviously. Is something still bothering you? For the name of this operation, who needs a name? Let's get it right. Like, this stuff does not need to be there. Honestly, really great cuts. With this exception. This is the only exception in this entire remaster, frankly, that I'm just like, oh, I wish they did that instead. 635. More of hit like Zio's, like, or I think just the army and everything, and they're just again like kind of regurgitating information we already know. But all of this is kept. Yeah, more reactions. But he collected it with a water shot. Like, we saw that. We physically saw that. It's like, it's as if, like, the visuals of Oda's manga are not enough for readers, or, like, they're going to get confused or read too deeply into it. So he has to, like, also, textually explain what happened. Like, I honestly don't think his art is all that complicated to follow. It's honestly phenomenally easy to follow when you think of the grand scheme of action manga there are. I think it's a testament to his skill as an artist. But the fact that like he has such a big, broad audience, and he's also kind of like primed them to question everything and like look into every little detail. He has to like clarify stuff like this, you know, all the time, and I think it's very cumbersome, frankly. Oh no, the Kraken's coming. Like, yeah. Oh, it's a dinosaur. That's amazing. Yeah, okay. Again, reaction. Pretty much that. Like, this is just like CP9. The fucking anime, I believe, like cuts to clips of Eni's lobby with Lucci skywalking. Is it like, come on? I guess it's been a long enough time, but like, no, you don't need to do that. Yeah, it's pretty much entirely reactions. And then these lines from Kami and Starfish, I don't remember his name. Like, you do have this dialogue from Usopp, but they cut Nami and there's line. This joke is funny. Like, awesome, Commander. Quit showing off. That's funny. Yeah, that's literally it from 35. And then 36, this whole page got cut, and it's all about Chopper and Horn Point. He can change into the other 6 anytime he wants. I'll shed you with my teeth. They're coral. They're my antlers, and I'm a cocky monster. And like that's just like teasing to, you know, what he does with Monster Point, which we'll get to later. So all of this was totally fine to cut, in my opinion. And even just for the fact that like Horn Point, dude, like I don't know if another time that comes up. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong about that, but I'm almost positive this is like the only instance of it in the fucking manga. He just doesn't use it almost at all. Uh, little extra bits getting cut. I believe this was, I forget which, like, there's a lot of Luffy reacting to a ton of shit. It was probably General Frankie. This little bit of Usopp and, 2 years and everything like that. More reactions. Actually, I don't think this panel was cut. I apologize if this was here. I don't know why this was here. I feel like this was actually here in the anime. I don't think this was cut. Can you turn it to a stag beetle now? I'm not a beetle. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's just like explaining his powers more. It's just a little cumbersome, taking up some page space. Oh, I do understand people like disappointed with Robin not being impressed with General Frankie. I think that's funny, but it's not very interesting to show in the remaster. It's not worth like the 5 seconds it would take to show just that. It's not really as interesting as keeping the entire Frankie transformation, for example. I'm really impressed and happy they kept a lot of that. Pretty much, I think all of it. And that's it. Really not a ton with that exception. This episode might be a different story. So these 4 chapters pretty much have a very simple flow to them. You can pretty easily follow. Basically, Luffy's starting to fight him a bit. I don't know how much they'll include this fight, because very shortly after the thing that we saw at the end of the previous chapter is the Ark showing up. And I don't know if they're going to show it twice with the way the manga and the anime do it, is they show the Ark to the king and some of the fishermen peons. And then afterwards the rest of the crew reacts to it. I suspected last time that this is going to be the first time we see Noah, is the crew seeing it. I think that makes the most sense. And then you can lump in Neptune's reaction that that's not supposed to move until the promised day or something like that in that bulk of initial reactions. And obviously this is really demonstrating how big of a deal this is, how threatening this is. Wadatsumi shows up. More Vanderdecken, and Shirahoshi realizes it's targeting her, makes itself the target, and starts swimming away, with Hody in pursuit and Luffy in pursuit. Then the next chapter, Shirahoshi is escaping, trying to get Noah to stop crashing into Fishman Island. Sanji launches Luffy up, so that's effectively separated the party. This entire bit of the Fishman civilians trying to stop Noah, only for Hody to, decimate them a bit. I don't know if that's going to be in here, so it doesn't really affect very much, but we'll see. Maybe it doesn't take as much time. They soon leave the island entirely, and Luffy is in a bad spot. And the princes show up to protect him and save Luffy, with Decken as well. And then Hody takes this opportunity to, he attacks a little bit and everything, and try to knock Vanderdecken unconscious, so that the Noah will fall on top of the island and nobody will be able to stop it. Because right now they're trying to redirect Noah away from the island so that it doesn't fall onto it. So he stabs Hody here, stabs Vanderdecken here, but it's a cliffhanger because he's not actually dead. He doesn't kill Vanderdecken. He's alive, and people maybe be pissed about that. Attacks a little bit and gets knocked out, but he's still awake, still following him. Hody resumes and tries to take out Shirahoshi, and you get a snake shot. What's up? That Lakers animation is pretty cool. Yeah, it sure was. Happy to see it. And so there's a couple of those pages. Let me get the document I had up. So 638, I believe is this chapter. 639 is what we're talking about. 9 pages. So 639. There's 9 pages of Hody, Luffy, the princes, and Shirahoshi. And then there's 9 pages, the rest of the chapter, back at the rest of the land, fighting the new Fishman Island pirates, and kind of matching them up. You know, having various matchups of them and establishing that. Is that 9 pages? Wow, it goes by very quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And then 640. There's another 12 pages of this interaction with the Straw Hats and the new Fishman Island pirates. And you notice already we're in 4 chapters in. And honestly, even me describing it, it doesn't feel like, oh, it should be a new episode by now. This would be 4 episodes in the original anime. Like, it's so quickly, easily summarized, I think. But yeah, you establish more of the matchups here. This Skullgrass is definitely in the next episode preview. We haven't even looked at that yet. I'm sorry. I really wanted to, I think it's just that this next batch, this 3rd act of Fishman Island, is kind of convoluted and packed, very congested. I was gonna say constipated, not really. No, it's quite the word. It's just packed with shit, so much shit that isn't all that memorable on its own, or you know what I mean? Not oh, this is such my favorite chapters. You know, they've kind of already hit those. This next bit is very chaotic, and I think plowing through this is the best option. I'm very, very looking forward to this episode because it's going to demonstrate the kind of thing that I think One Piece broadly could use in terms of, and I'm not a big big criticizer of One Piece generally, and I'm not being Fishman Island's a flawed arc. You know, I'm not trying to be like that. It's a fantastic arc. I love what it does conceptually, and that makes it say a backhanded compliment of execution-wise. No, I think it's great. I just think that in this instance, there was a lot on the plate, especially because the anticipation is to see what the Straw Hats can do now that they're stronger. So I think Oda really wanted to take his time with giving the interactions, especially also that it was a very long period of time between the Sabaody incident and getting the Straw Hats broken up and they're reuniting. So the interactions amongst the Straw Hats, you want more of that. So maybe that's a lot of what's bulking this up. I think there's a lot of things that Oda's trying to consider when doing this arc, and I think it kind of chokes on that amount of content, potentially. Whereas I think other arcs he does a lot better, despite those 3rd acts similarly being very chaotic and dense. I think he does handle it a little bit better. I get what you mean, which is why it's a great arc to redo. Yeah, exactly. I think it's a great example because it's not. I think doing this for something like Dressrosa would be way more complicated because Dressrosa is more of a linear arc than this. I think this arc is very simplistic. It's set up, flashback, the war part and the climax part. The 3-act structure in this arc is so obvious and clear that it's easy to compartmentalize, I think, and break down. Dressrosa has so many and then that I think it'll be a lot harder to try to do. And then Punk Hazard, I don't think it needs it as much, to be honest with you. Whole Cake, I like, and I think by that point, by the time you get to Zoe and Whole Cake and Wano, I love them for the length that they are and for the investment you have. I think they're just the right length, really. Even Egghead, I think, like a lot of that, I think he just plays it really, really well. I don't have as much of an issue. And again, that's saying issue, like, I don't want to be like that. Anyway, yeah, so attacking some more, and Decken tries to get another attack and accidentally hits his head. Oops, the Noah's falling. And I think this is going to be my guess for where this episode ends up, because I think this is a good episode ender. But they have proved me wrong already. About like the previous episode, I didn't expect them to end right on Luffy, right as he attacks Hody, that first initial attack. We'll see how much of that scrap that they keep, the scrapping with Hody. Let's double check the next episode preview here. Yep, so it's coming off. That's the next chapter, of course. What really convinces me that it's going to fall by the end of this episode is this panning shot that they keep cutting to. Like, they go to all the Straw Hats, and they keep going back to this Noah of like how high up it is. This little bit's here. Obviously, that'll be by the end of the second chapter. I believe this is Snake Shot, so I think that's in the third chapter. But the giveaways are over here. This one, and even this one, to be honest. I believe this is in the fourth chapter as well. That's a great shot of Nami, by the way. But maybe even this bit of... Let's see what happens when... like at what point General Frankie punches Squid Games. So yeah, that's already happened. Let's see when that happens. So they scrap. Those two scrap. Kyozo and Zoro. So we're in the fourth chapter here. Here's another. I think this is another evidence of. So here's Ika. Yep. There it is, right there. Yep, that panel in 640 is in the next episode preview. They do 4 chapters, which ends with Noah falling, and maybe they do early into 640. I don't know. But we'll see. All right, let's look into episodes. You know, at least the span that I think they're covering, which is 558 to 561. Timeline. Okay. Doop 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 boop. All right. So it's 4 that we're doing. We're gonna cover 4 episodes here, and probably go quick because we're already halfway through the time. Starts with 57 seconds is all of you know, just them reacting to how big Noah is, of course. And then I consider this an anime original scene. Yeah, just a little extra bit of Tsurume protecting Shirahoshi, and the scale is a little weird here. I don't think the scale is correct, but okay. Yeah, Luffy scrapping with Hody. And then there's this extra elaborate thing that One Piece cut out. It totals to about 1:14, but it has this shot here, which is in the next episode preview, so I think they're keeping some of it. But look at how much shadows they give. They really show off how humongous it is. Yeah, there's more reactions, etc. And then yeah, there it is. Which is technically in the manga, so that's why One Piece kept it. 1:13 extra that One Piece cut out as well, with more reactions to them, to Noah falling and Vanderdecken saying some stuff. I don't really know what he's saying that must not be in the manga technically. a smattering of things that, you know, little bits, but 32 seconds overall. Again, more kind of reactions from the crew. And obviously this is in the manga, so One Piece keeps it. More reactions just to Shirahoshi doing that. This whole bit, which I didn't highlight, is cut out of One Piece. 17 seconds. Yep, it's just kind of showing more and more that it is aiming at Shirahoshi specifically. This little extra bit. 8 seconds. You know, it's kind of a similar redundant shot. Then they cut 45 seconds here with the chain, and you know they're starting to slowly go up, and it's realizing that it's moving. Everyone reacting to that. Another 30 seconds, cut at least out of One Piece, with her after she gets stabbed by Vanderdecken. That's a great shot of him, by the way. I love that. I wonder how they're going to do that for Log. More, yep. Okay, so yeah, her getting stabbed and her starting to swim away. I don't know how One Piece cut that, because how do they I guess right here they determine that she is escaping, I guess. Okay. And that's the end of that episode. So pretty, you know, pretty frequent cuts, all things considered. And then starts with 30 seconds of, you know, more reacting to how big Noah is, of course. In case you didn't watch the last episode. 26 seconds of... Oh yeah, just more carnage of Hody attacking the fishermen that are trying to stop him. A little bit more here of her crying in the resolution. She's like, I gotta do it. Yeah, haha. They just cut that bit. Because they can. They cut the bit of Luffy specifically taking out the thing and blowing the bubble, I guess is technically not in... Oh no, just him taking it out of his pocket because, like, because they can. Any little bit counts, I guess. Fucking, how long was this? 3 seconds? Wow, you really say, oh, it makes it go by so much faster. 10 seconds of just, you know, more struggling. But, you know, he does it, you kind of already get it initially. And then One Piece cuts out a giant 2 minute, not even that giant, 2 minutes. It's a lot. When it's a 20-minute episode, that's a lot. Of Luffy trying to fight back here. And failing because Hody is fast. And he's like, you think you can beat me? Ah. And yep, he's just there. Pops it already and yep, loses it. And it looks like Luffy's already just about had it. Hody's monologuing a lot, which, you know, we probably already get elsewhere, but they're just going to repeat in the canon shit. And then we actually do get, you know, the prince actually saving Luffy, because we don't see that in the manga, technically. Yep, so he helps him there. So, that's a cool shot. Alright. And then they keep cutting more. Another 43 seconds. Because I guess him laughing like this is not canon. Alright, sure. Swim, swim, swim. And then she remembers what happened, like, this exact episode. I believe it happened this episode that this happened. Why are they flashing back to this? Oh, gosh. Oh, I remember that. Mina-sama. Okay. And I'll just, yeah. 31 seconds minus this one shot of Vanderdecken throwing the knives. But yeah, he's reeling at the type of Janai Desu again. Very dramatic. Throws. Yeah, Shirahoshi. They're flying, they're flying, they're flying. And, oh, they get deflected. There you go. Another 12 seconds of, I guess they're swimming around. They're getting away. There's probably some dialogue here too. Or maybe not. 5 seconds, a little extra. I don't know what he's saying here, but I'm going to cut that. Then they cut another giant chunk. Another minute 40. So, like, look how much they cut here. Like, a minute 40 plus 2 seconds. Like, 4 minutes out of already, like, you know, if you don't count the recap and OP, there's only 17 minutes 48 seconds worth of content here. So they, like, the fact that they can go through these episodes this quickly definitely shows that they could do 4 chapters, I think, in this episode, and it's not going to feel rushed. But we'll see. Another 6 seconds. A little extra bit here. And then, at the end, 26 seconds plus 14 seconds. So, like, 40 seconds. Swimming, he's swimming, he's swimming, he's swimming. Oh, he's gonna catch us. So it's a big ship. It sure is big. Trying to swim up it. He's monologuing. I guess it wasn't in the manga. And then, you know, it's because Hody encounters, you know, runs into him and stabs him. And I'll make a call. This could be a good place, a very good place actually, to hit the eye catch for the episode for Log. And then after the eye catch, they can cut back to the island and they can take care of all the matchups. They can get all the matchups done, which take up about maybe a chapter and a half, and then end the episode on like this last ditch type of effort, scramble, and then the nose starts falling at the end of the episode. At least that's my call. Not a whole lot in this episode that they can cut in their view. 35 seconds of the beginning, obviously, with just a real, you know, reaction to what happened, I guess. Little bits cut here and there of about 30 seconds. More dialogue. Just swimming, tracing after, and you know, you don't need all of it, I guess. 10 seconds of that's a weird shot of the Noah. Look at that. Ooh, and I guess he comes out of there. It comes out of the thing. Strange. Okay, and then after Luffy does the snake shot, which does not look great, I will be honest. I've seen better in general. They'll go back here and look at this. No audio and no dialogue or music or anything. It's like 5 seconds here of slowly watching the pill get tossed into Udetsumi. I forget his full name really. Him laughing a bit, and then it turns here. And it just goes like that. Easy. Dun, bum, bum. And then, first of all, there's what I considered original, not original, sorry, kind of a padding, 46 seconds, where you got the hands, and then you have a Hyozo scene, just kind of establishing a little bit more. But then this is all original. This, like, at least I believe so. This angler guy seems to be entirely original that Zoro squares up with. It's like, just square him with the guy that he's supposed to fight. You know, just do that. Yeah, like it's cool to have a cool Zoro fight and everything, but like this is just distracting to like the actual interesting like the character to care about because he takes care of this guy quick. It's like 2.5 minutes. All things considered, he's introduced and done in that length of time, and we never see him again. And then a little, just a little bit, 4 seconds, I guess, that they, you know, just a reaction shot. That's a little quick, a little too slow for them, I guess. And then yeah, they end the episode at, you know, just, haha, I injured you, or something. All right. Lastly, more dialogue, and realizing it's still not falling, even though you know he's still he got knocked out pretty bad, but he isn't lost consciousness. And then they're here. Not great drawings, to be honest. But here's the look at this. This could be. Let me sync this. Oh yeah, like I think that actually they may not have redrawn this bit. Like these close-ups of them are not the best in my opinion, but when they're like here, honestly, pretty good. Let me get that synced. I'm actually interested. Yeah, like over here. Yeah. They definitely sped it up. Look at that. But they've been doing that a lot in the next episode previews, and that's why I mostly stopped trying to sync the next episode preview footage specifically, because it's often different in speed from from the episode itself. Anywho. Yeah, they're only really nibbling around the edges here. I don't feel the need to really elaborate on that. The big chunks are 21 seconds and 15 seconds. Again, it's the guys all eating their drugs in a fight with Zoro. I guess they was cool looking enough to include. We're not in the manga. It's 37 extra kind of padded seconds of kids talking to Charlie. There is a shot of Charlie in the next episode preview, so it's likely that it's referring to this scene, unless there's another Charlie scene. I don't know. It might just be a reaction to Noah. I'm gonna put past them. And then One Piece really takes a knife to this last shot here. But first, there's a minute 13 seconds of look at that, Hody fighting the princes. Look at this. And then I believe this exact shot is in the next episode preview. I could be wrong. I don't know what we're talking about here. It's probably redundant information. Oh yeah, and then this is very clearly stringing for time. This is One Piece padding. They're like, yeah, we'll keep fighting. Yeah, honestly, cool looking shots, like really cool looking. Not substantive at all. Yeah, we're fighting, and we're fighting too, and we're fighting, and they're watching. I can't get over it. No, stop watching. Oh my god, I don't care that much about these kids for you to show them on their own. You don't even show Charlie or whatever. And I get it, because like, oh, the kids are watching, Otahime quote, but come on. and a postcard memory. And it's like, oh, that's the end of the episode, right? No, it's going to end with this, which One Piece cuts down so much, and it will be very interesting to compare the timing of this scene with Log, because as much as they've cut every single they cut every single shot. Sometimes they extend, but most of the time they cut. Sliding PNG's classic. I know. This is a 16-second sequence of Vanderdecken awkwardly trying to throw the thing and then falling here. He's like, oh no, oh no, oh, and then like the Noah right here, 6 seconds. It's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. It's moving, it's still moving. This shot still goes, but One Piece just cuts all this. And then the bubbles are how you know that it like stops in its tracks. You know? And then it's like hovering there. It stays there for 18 more seconds of just like, oh, it's not moving. Oh, it stopped. Oh, and the chains. And I really liked this detail with the chains, especially in the manga, just like knowing what direction the Noah is falling. Like, you know, it's actually succumbing to gravity because of the chains versus like chasing after Shirahoshi because of how the chains are moving. You know, the chains are moving up and then it starts sinking. Like, and then he's like, oh no. And then, oh no, he's unconscious. Oh no. Oh no! Oh, it's falling! Yeah, it's falling. Ah! 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 It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that they do there. And like One Piece kept, you know, a full 50 seconds of that, but they also. But they just cut like this big chunk here. They don't need the 18 extra seconds, nor they did, I guess, need like all of this build up of like we're fighting really hard and you know, it's a fine enough moment in the context of watching the episode, like for the first time especially. But like people think it's Dressrosa that's the fucking problem. Like, this is a technique, and like fans are complaining about Dressrosa doing this. They do this like every arc, like a lot. Not to the point of comedic comedy, to like to the point of notoriety. In the way that Dressrosa is, it's probably worse than the worst it gets in Dressrosa. I can't wait to experience that because like I truly. I truly didn't feel it as badly as I did in certain points of the story. Like even as early as Eni's lobby, I was like, okay, they're running to this gate for kind of a while. Like that part between like with Usopp freeing those two giants, and everybody and the galley law and everybody running to the main gate before getting onto the roof, and like that process, them running to that felt so long. Like it was multiple episodes where they were still gunning it there, and it was taking them forever to get there. Whereas it took Luffy like instantly. Like it was very, very quick. It's just different, and you know. But again, I don't try to harbor on the anime too much about that because I get it, you know. Okay. Do they have the episode? They do! I'm pretty good at that. Or they're very good at that. Thank you, Crunchyroll. Okay. Let's get that ish. Say only ish sounds. Fish, dish, sandwich. All right, we're gonna start right here, and we'll see if they technically start volume. If they start earlier than this, then I'll have to update the 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 panels to include like the two-page spread of Noah that they also cut, which would be funny. Alrighty, we're gonna go on go, fellas. If you're ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I think the Dressrosa pacing is honestly in the manga. So I guess why people single out that arc. That's what I mean. Like, when. By the way, this is a new version of We Go. I mean, because I believe this has Kitani on it. Oh, it's good. I thought the ED artist was going to be on here too, but I could be wrong. It's a bunch of VTubers still. He's so good. Interesting instrumentation. Nice. The harmonizations are sick. Oh, yeah. That was awesome. That was really, really good. I still prefer the original and then the Straw Hat version, but that was the best of like the newer groups. They did cut the 2-page spread. They probably have. I think so. Oh fuck. Nice. Oof. Jeez. This is awesome. That was great. There it is. I win. Well, I have to show, yeah, there you, yeah, so Neptune's the first one to see it, so, okay, cool. Oh, no, they didn't cut it. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, they really just melded all of the reactions into one. Like, that was really smart. I haven't even been scrolling. Ooh, they may have cut a good bit. I may have cut a bit of the fight. I could be wrong. Yep, there's Wadatsumi. Very funny. love her. She definitely replaced Kami for me, unfortunately. Like, I love Kami pre-time skip, but she's the best. There's only one mermaid in this fucking top 10. Yeah, top 10 One Piece characters? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't count the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats are one entity. But it would be like top 10 One Piece characters that are not the Straw Hats. Oh no. That's me, the woman I love. Oh, how dare you. And then it makes sense that you actually show her, swimming away. Really great OST choice here. Like, very brave. And that's one chapter done. 7 minutes, 43 seconds. Ooh. Let's see if they keep the scene of the town of the citizens trying to hold it down. Yes, they do. They do keep it. Oh wow, yeah, that he attack. They're there. He attacks them. That's it. That is all you get. Very fair. Oh, here we go. Oh look, they actually show him get the thing out of his coat, which makes sense. Him trying to make it there, yeah. Oh yeah. How much of this original stuff are they gonna keep? Ooh. Probably none of it. That was interesting that like he threw them already, and then she says, because that's what happens in the manga. That's the order, and they don't do that in the original. I think that was just good for pacing's sake. Look at that. They do keep some of the fight. That's incredible. That's awesome. And then yeah, of course, yeah, one shot, that's it. Yep. Yep. And then it gets saved. Boom. Yeah, the fucking die. Ooh. Oh wow. He zoomed up. He zoomed there. He's like, "You want to go see you there?" I think I'm going to be correct in my assumption again. Maybe this isn't that hard. Maybe this isn't that hard to predict. It's pretty... I mean, sometimes I've gotten it wrong. Nice. All right, 2 more chapters to go. They're at 13 minutes. They got 7 minutes left. They can do it. No, and they don't cut back. They don't cut to the I was wrong about that. So okay. My predictions are half right. I'm actually happy about that. It would be boring if they were 100% correct. It'd be predictable. Hell yeah. Mermaids swim fast as shit. It's not quite enough. I knew that was the shot. Ah! That was much better looking because of the effects and the snappiness. Ooh, alright. They've been very faithful to the order of the manga. I do think they cut this entire page, though, of him, like, they just waited for Wadatsumi to be angry. They just skipped right to when he's angry and punches the squid. Hell yeah. Woo! Oh, look at that. They're already done with the chapter. Cute. Hell yeah. Ah! Yeah. That was snappy. I'm headbutting the sole of your foot. Very funny. Look at that. This is so good, dude. This is so snappy. And then Charlotte, look at that. Oh, I think they cut this whole page here. They cut a bunch of other pages here. Oh my gosh, I think they cut like the rest of that scene. They just gave a little bit of Charlie. What do you think's gonna happen? Oof. Oh, that was such a good shot of her. They did keep that shot, lasted a little bit of time. Really respectful to the original in that way. They kept all those drawings pretty original. That's awesome. They were really expressive. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was 4 chapters. Woo! They did it! Holy crap. That was really great. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. That was such the right call. I'm not even just patting myself on the back. I'm like, complimentary to them. That was such a good call. Obviously, I thought it was because that's what I thought they would do. But man, that abbreviation was so good. That was excellent. That was so good. I'm very happy with that. Man. Oh, I love her. She's the best. Okay, so let me see. Real quick. Before the next episode preview, I was thinking they're going to do from here for this next episode, they're going to do from chapter 641 to 644. I think it's going to end with Red Hawk. So that's a lot. That is a lot. But yeah, it's a mix of a lot of different stuff, a lot of different material, the fights and everything, and the speech with Hody is nothing, and Hody's whole backstory, and the end of 644 is Luffy using Red Hawk for the first time on Hody. Let's see what they do. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I win. Yeah, I fucking called it. Let's go. Luffy versus Hody, Konshin no Red Hawk. Dude, oh my god. I don't even need to speculate for jack or shit. That is the literal end of chapter 644. They got to do chapter 641, 2, 3, 4. Dude, let's go. Oh my gosh. I'm playing Yahtzee. Like, I can't believe it. I just got here. I always miss these. That's okay, Glowworm. I literally just, called it perfect. So this chapter, this episode that we just watched, I suspected that they would do 4 chapters. I'll show you the panels here. I was thinking for this episode, this is the one we just watched, and this is exactly what happened. They did 4 chapters in one episode, which they have never done that so far. This is the first time they did that. They were doing 2 every episode, and then they were doing 3, and now they have to do 4 for the rest of Fishman Island. If they're going to do 21 episodes, if the total is 21, this is how many chapters are left. They have to do 4 here, which they did. And I was like, I bet they're going to end with Red Hawk, which is the very last page of 644. I think that's the best episode ender. And I was fucking right. Like, the next episode preview, the name of the episode is Luffy versus Hody, Konshin no Red Hawk. And the last 2 shots that we see, all out Red Hawk, is literally him using Red Hawk. That is right. It's kind of hard to see with the title, right there. I fucking called it. So then, yeah, they're gonna have to do. So then, what's left after Red Hawk is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chapters after that, and now so they could do 5 and 5, which would be crazy. I mean, not that crazy, I guess, but like what I think they're gonna do. I just realized I'm not subscribed to Piss Pirates. Yay! Oh, fair. Like you were not. I don't know. It'd be nice if you were. But yeah, like so 6:40. So then after they do Red Hawk, they're gonna have 6:45 to 6:53 or 6:54 maybe. So what I'm thinking is, end of 6:48 is Jinbei giving Luffy his blood. You gotta join my crew. I think that's the best way to end an episode of Fishman. So I think that's how they're gonna resolve. They're going to go from Red Hawk to all the stuff with officially taking down Hody and the Sea Beast saving the Noah and everything. And then yeah, you got to join my crew. And then you have one last episode for resolution, which is technically 6 chapters. 654 is up in the air. I don't think it's going to be adapted, because if you look at that chapter, or look at those last 2 chapters, volume 66. I'll pull it up over here. Yeah. So he's still taking it down. Takes 4 full fucking chapters. And yeah, I think it's going to end on this spread and this moment. So a lot of resolution, including a bunch of Big Mom stuff. But the debate of like whether it's 653 or 654, I believe they're going to end it on 653, because what you got is the pinky promise that Shirahoshi makes with Luffy and the Straw Hats. And then, you know, they're leaving Fishman, and they're like, when we get on the surface, we're going to be in the same sea as Shanks. And he flashes back to the hat with Shanks, with Ace, with Rayleigh, with Kobe telling him what the new world is like. And then it's this nice spread of, like, everyone reacting. And let's go, Shinsekai, you know, like, really happy about it. And I think that's a great place to end it. 654 is technically more Fishman Island, because they're still not out of the woods yet. They have a whole episode of traveling back up. They're kind of being leisurely about it. They have some. It's another kind of undersea adventure fun type of thing. Really cool, like White Storm, wow, and you know, seeing these the whales is really interesting and cool. Laboon, with Brooke is there as well. It's so awesome. Yeah, and all the whales and stuff like that. And then they make it out of the top with all the whales there. We made it to this, it's the new world, and like, bring it on. And, like, this is the entrance, it's like the entrance to hell. And then the next episode, the next chapter is Punk Hazard. So I think they can leave it off at this chapter, and then anime onlys basically, or people who are like, you know, who are watching Fishman Island Log, can then jump into Punk Hazard with this chapter, with like the regular anime at this chapter, I think, you know, or if they ever do a Punk Hazard log, they'll start with this chapter. I think it's very clear cut, very easy to do like that. Yeah, so that's my call is well, now that these two are correct, now that these 2 episodes are correct, I think this is what's going to happen. They're going to end it with, you got to join my crew with Jinbei, and then they'll do all the resolution shit, which is probably going to get glossed over a lot. I don't know, man. 5 effing chapters, and they're not action-packed chapters either. It's resolution with like dialogue and like kind of plotting stuff and seeing different characters and stuff like that. I really don't know how they'll be able to fit all of that in one episode, but that's not my problem. It'll be fun to see. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're going to call it there, fellas. Thank you very much for watching. I am elated. I'm very elated, actually. Like, all that went really well. That was the first time they did 4 chapters, and they nailed it. And they're landing the episode. They're ending the episodes on points that I think are the best. And let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling from here. Let me get on the stats. Let me update the stats here. It's a ritual. Gotta do it. So, these are the episodes. Blue, 561. Red Hawk happens. Let's find out in the episodes. It's probably in 4 episodes, so 655, 565. Not quite. Okay, so when does it happen? 564? Has he punched him yet? Nothing. Alright, I'm just scrolling through, sorry. Is it the beginning of 665? 665? Oh boy. Oh! Yes, there it is. So Red Hawk happens in the middle of 565. I was my premature with this. No, I was premature with saying it as well. Yeah, so it actually happens at the halfway point of 565. So it's going to be 562 to 565. 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 episodes. Or 3.5, kind of. While Red is going to be 641 to 644. Whew. Okay. I'll see you guys next time. Yo, peace.